It was really good. We back with the Boston Clinic one time for the one time. Shout out to the LDBC, the YTBC. We working, and apparently, John David Jackson feels that Danny Jacobs has been protected by Al Heyman, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time and do a little lengthy video on here about that. And I've been on record saying that Danny Jacobs is one of the most overhyped guys in the sport. And I'm not saying that he's not good, man. I support Danny Jacobs. But John David Jackson, kind of, some of the sentiments that I've been singing. And I did pick Luis Arias in the breakdown and prediction video. I dropped it Monday, so y'all go check it out if you like. I think it was a good video. Only time will tell if I'm right or wrong. But I really had a hunch on this one. Never bet with my heart, just always bet with my head and a little bit of intuition. But he said it's some weaknesses that they want to expose in Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs has never been hurt to the body, but Luis Arias is a big body, is a good body puncher, and that's one thing they want to do. They want to rip him to the body and take his legs away, and apparently go upstairs and go for the kill and tap that chin that's been suspect. He was stretched out by Sean Porter's in the amateurs, dropped by Sergio Mora, KO by Demetrius Pirog. So, but usually guys that can dish out that thunder have some weak chins. Julian Jackson was one of them. Tommy Hearns was another one. Usually guys that really got that thunder in their hands. Keith Thurman been stretched out before in the amateurs. Tools who really got that pop. Rigondeaux, another guy. Y'all don't think that's a big puncher. They kind of chinny, and that's kind of been that's kind of been the narration for boxers for a minute, the narrative. And shout out to my boy Otis Griffin. He said that he probably don't remember that. He was a boxer as well. Said that like last year, man. I thought about it. I said, man, he's right. That's nothing to be ashamed of about Danny Jacobs. He said he thought he answered those chin questions by fighting with Triple G, but he did fight passive. And Luis Arias said that he fought passive, he fought defensive. Kenny Porter said he was disappointed in Danny that he fought so defensive, and if he was more offensive, he probably could have did better versus Triple G and took the win. But like I said, he was, Luis Arias said he was in survival mode, but John Jackson seems to be very confident. Now, he's been known to run his mouth before. He ran his mouth about Andre Ward. He ran his mouth about Earl Spence when he fought Chris Algieri. We've seen those results. So I'm not saying this dude's word is biblical, Bible, or it's 100% accurate, but he's on to some of the stuff I said. I didn't think Danny Jacobs was as good as people was making him out to be. This is a guy who was just, not too long ago fighting Caleb Truab and Sergio Mora. He beat Peter Quillen when Peter Quillen was, he didn't want to box no more. He gave up his belt. He wasn't active. So, you know what I'm saying? And Gabriel Rosado was touching up Peter Quillen as well. Y'all forget that. And that fight ended kind of funny. So, Danny Jacobs does have weaknesses like David Jackson said, like every fighter does. The only time I'm going to tell, but one thing Luis Arias is going to have to do is cut that ring off. That's one thing. If anything that they practicing, it has to be cutting the ring off on Danny Jacobs. Pirog was able to close distance on him with good head movement. And a lot of you guys might not believe it, but Luis Arias got some good head movement. He don't have no head movement and bit at the hips and the knees like Demetrius Pirog do. But you don't have to, do that type of head movement. Just enough to get him out of position, because Danny Jacobs fights scared sometimes. And even with the Peter Quillen knockdown, I like to say this dude, he did fight scary. He came out there just to throw bombs and hoping to land something. He didn't come out there confident and aggressive versus Peter Quillen. He came out there closing his eyes, throwing bombs, and if he's going to get knocked out, he was going to live with that. He does fight petrified. Triple G, he fight petrified. He don't like to get hit, and who does? And Luis Arias is going to have to show his class of chin, his class of fighter. He's going to deal with all types of trouble. Danny Jacobs is the more, athletic fighter. He has a good left hook, a good right hand. He's an offensive juggernaut. And he showed that he can do some defensive things with Triple G. But one thing that Luis Arias isn't, he isn't Triple G. That's not him. If you expecting him to come out there and be Triple G, well, that's not going to happen. But he can do some things that Triple G couldn't do. Like he's more athletic in the legs. He's more athletic. He moves his head off the spot. He rips the body. He lets his hand go. He can box go on the back foot. He can move his head. He got an excellent jab as well. And he can do some things. His right hand straight down the middle is like a pistol. His pistol is sniper right type of, it's sniper accurate. So he can do some things. I think a lot of people sell him short because They haven't seen a lot of him, but he's an impressive fighter. Would I be surprised if he got blown out by Danny Jacobs? Absolutely not. Danny Jacobs is a talented type fighter. This is meant to be Danny Jacobs' correlation, like his Welcome to Death Row, All Eyes on Me, Tupac album, the HBO. This is his real welcome. You know, like Tupac album, you know, first song doing Death Row was a couple tracks he did on Above the Rim soundtrack. And then eventually, you know, he signed with Death Row when he got out of jail, and he dropped All Eyes on Me. Now, Triple G, you know, the analogy is this. Danny Jacobs' little Above the Rim soundtrack was fighting Triple G on HBO pay-per-view. He was like, all right, that's your introduction. We got a taste of you. And now, you know, they want the whole entree. So they signed him to the Death Row HBO deal, and now he about to drop All Eyes on Me and try to come back and do some things. We did the video with him calling out all the middleweights, didn't leave out Jamal Charlo name, didn't leave out Andrade name, even though they close name, Triple G, Canelo. He said he wants some more. And it starts with Luis Arias, and Luis Arias is a good fighter. And we're going to see his class of fighter, but John David Jackson is right. This dude isn't like polished or great. He's been protected, man. You know, other than the Peter Quillin fight, I mean, what is his biggest win? You know, he don't have a big win. He beat Caleb Truax. He beat Sergio Mora twice. I mean, he got knocked out by Pirog. I mean, how good is his resume? And people, you know, forget, and they give him credit for losing to Triple G. I thought he won, and I was impressed by it. But this is a whole different type of fight for him. This is a fight that's meaningful, that he's supposed to win, not that he's the underdog in. And when you the underdog, it's a lot less pressure for you to win. But when you the top dog, you expect it to win. It's more pressure, especially when a guy like Luis Arias is hungry and he wants your spot. He want that contract on HBO. And we gonna see what's going down, man. But John David Jackson makes some points, but he been said crazy things as well. But we